Libra. Hello, my lovely, gorgeous people. How are you? You got 2 adjectives in there this week. All good. Okay. Libra, I do hope this reading finds you well. Welcome to your reading for the week of the 20th of June 2022. I am going to start with a card from the Chakra Insight Oracle. This is going to give us a bit of an overall vibe for the week. And I'll pull a couple of other cards as well. Oh, Libra, seeing. Okay, so this is the same card that Gemini got. Okay, so you air signs are, you're sitting in allegiance, alliance with each other. So, oh no, they didn't get this. My apologies. No, okay, so seeing, it was very similar. Okay, so theirs was about signs. Okay, so my apologies, Libra. So you got seeing. The words on here are perceptive, truth, knowledge, and clarity. So it might be an invitation this week to start seeing things clearly. Let's see what the other messages are for you this week. So I'm going to also pull out a card or 2, thank you guides, from the Rider-Waite Tarot. Again, as an overall feel for the week. The Magician, Libra, what beautiful energy to have for the week. You are the magician. You have all the resources that you need to create magic. What is it you want to make and build and create this week, Libra? So for the bulk of the reading, I'm going to be using the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris-Anne. So the first card out is the Page of Wands. And I'm doing the same layout as last week if you were here. Oh, very chatty this morning, Libra. We have the Knight of Wands, okay. I know Gemini did get this one. The Knight of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles also came out in the Gemini reading. We have the 7 of Wands. Three Wands cards already, Libra. So, as usual, I've called in my guardians, guides, angels, and ancestors who love me unconditionally and are of the highest vibration. We have the 4 of Wands, again came out in Gemini's reading. And another Wands for you. We have the Death card, okay. We have the Queen of Swords. We've got 2 Queens on the board, feeling a little bit royal, my beautiful Librans. Queen of Swords, is that you, my lovely Libra? Sitting on your throne, master of your own destiny. Okay. The next card out, I will bear in mind that they come out in reversals, but I don't tend to read reversals because I read the cards intuitively, and that will include a reversal type message if it's relevant. So the next card out is the 3 of Wands. And then the final card out, again as a message from the universe, overall energy for the week, is this Queen of Cups. So my beautiful Libra, we now have 3 queens. Wow, you should be this week feeling in a really strong position, okay? All of those queens speak to being, they're sitting gracefully on their thrones. They've worked hard to get to that position. They, particularly this Queen of Cups here, her heart is so full, and she's such a compassionate, loving person, and she's admired for that. And, she's a brilliant space holder. So I feel like this is kind of an important position for you this week, is to really be that inspiration for others and be that inspiration for yourself as well. So, don't forget to reflect on who you are and look at how far you've come, and really just appreciate that, this beautiful heart that you do have, and this beautiful sense of truth and wisdom and victory, and these being a clear communicator. And again, up here, this Queen of Pentacles being really grounded and earthy and nurturing and mothering and connected into nature and all things around you, and having been well supported and being a good support for others. So yeah, such an incredible energy with this reading, Libra. I'm really quite happy for you. So just as an overview, as I said, we do have those three queens. We've also got 5 wands cards. So Libra, really sitting in the feel with the wands of this idea of passions and inspirations and what it is that drives you. And it's interesting that you're three queens, so you've got the cups, the swords, and the pentacles, but you're missing the Queen of Wands. But with all these wands cards, you've made up for it. Okay, so you've kind of got all of the elements covered. And you know, who's going to argue with the Magician as your overall energy here? This Magician has all of the elements. He's got his wands, he's got his sword, he's got his cups, and he's got his, what have I missed? Swords, wands, pentacles. He's got his pentacle. And it's from all of those elements that he's able to be the master manifester. He's able to create whatever it is that he does desire in this world. And a lot of readers will talk about this card in terms of, you know, like making a cake or yeah, I like the cake analogy, because anyone can, and you've probably seen it on cookie shows or something like that, you know, that anyone can take an ingredient and they can put it together, but there's going to be a variety of quality that comes out at the end of it. And the quality depends on the person, the magician, the master manifester here. And so you're the magic ingredient here, Libra. You're the one that makes the magic. So you can have all of the ingredients in the cake, but unless you're the one with those particular skills and those particular intentions, and I want to say those intentions of love with the Queen of Cups next to it, without those intentions, your cake's going to be, you know, might even fall a bit flat, even with the right ingredients. But with the right intention, with the right ingredients, you're going to make a beautiful cake. Right. Now, the other thing I do just want to touch on before we break down the box there a little bit is this Queen of Cups. You may have seen it in other readings with me, depending on your sign and what readings you watch. This has come up a little bit. So this Queen of Cups is in this deck. So this is a deck of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann, and this particular card is my Curious Guide. So when you receive the deck of Tarot of Curious Creatures, Chris Ann invites you to go through the deck and connect in with each card and be drawn and find yourself a curious guide. So this is my curious guide for this deck, the Queen of Cups. So what that means is anytime that comes up in a reading that I'm doing, it's an extra confirmation for the message that comes up in that reading, or it may be an extra confirmation for the message of, particularly for the cards that sit nearby. Interesting, hey? And it's also a yes card. So if you've got anything going on in your mind, it's some sort of internal dialogue and you're thinking, yes, no, do I do this? This is a yes, okay? And I really do like that this Queen of Cups here is particularly being on the outside of the box. It's sitting in and confirming, like really confirming what I said there before about the Magician, about you being that master manifester and having all of the resources that you need. And also she's here corroborating and strengthening that seeing card, so that being able to see things clearly, seeing things from a different perspective. And again, I want to come in and call in on talk about this Queen of Swords at this point too, because she sees things very clearly. She sees things for what they are. She sees the truth behind things. And we know the incredible vision that the owl has. Okay, so this is how I see this Queen of Wands being tied into this overall message for you this week. Right, let's break it down a little bit further, see if there's any other messages that are coming through for you in particular. So the Page of Wands is sitting in the position of your week as a whole. So again, I feel like you're feeling really grounded, secure. You know, you are in this place of stability. So what I see with this card is that because you're coming from this place of stability, you're now being invited to look at it, what it is that you next want to create. What's your next masterpiece? What's your next cake that you're making? So this Page of Wands is telling me you might have all these brilliant ideas start to come in this week for you. So they might be new inspirations of, oh, I could do this and I really love that, and oh my god, this makes my heart sing. And so I feel like that's what's happening for you this week, is because you're in this position of stability with the Three Queens, that you can start to invite these ideas to come in. And what I feel is going to happen is that these ideas are actually going to take off a lot quicker than what you expect. And why do I say that? Because the Knight of Wands is the next card out. So we've gone directly in two cards from the Page to the Knight. So we've gone as kind of like an apprentice almost into the Knight being that brave warrior, taking on challenges, charging forward. So you're going to be taking one of these ideas and charging forward with it. You're going to be really excited, and it's going to have legs behind it, and it actually might move very, very quickly. So having that Queen of Pentacles there, that very slow, gentle, grounded energy might be a nice way of just kind of slowing that down and just keeping it earthed, okay? Because sometimes that Knight of Wands wants to just take off, and it can sometimes go too quickly. And when we go too quickly, we can potentially start to make errors as well. So really call in that energy of that Queen of Pentacles. That Queen of Pentacles is sitting in the position of how we can stay grounded and focused this week. So I think that's perfectly placed for the reading. And I do think we've probably spoken enough about her. And I hope you understand what that message is already. Interesting, we have the next card out is the Seven of Wands, and this is sitting in the position of your emotions this week, Libra. So there's still something that you might feel like you are a little bit defensive about. You might be keeping someone or something at bay. You can see in this position she's quite defensive. She's got her hand extended there, keep back. So I feel like you might still be holding your ground or holding your position on something. And this is in terms of emotions, because it's sitting in your emotional, in the position of emotions in the layout. I don't think it's anything too major, because you've got such other incredibly strong cards. But the only thing I would like to probably mention there is maybe look if you're being too defensive around something. So sometimes being defensive can be something that we've learnt. It can be a protection mechanism. And so what I might invite you to do is to step into that place of the Queen of Cups, where you can have that open heart, where you can drop that wand, drop that defense, and allow people in, allow people to see that beautiful heart. So that would be kind of the only advice that's really coming in with that particular card in that position for me. The Four of Wands is sitting in the position of your inspirations this week, Libra. So this can sometimes be a celebration, a marriage, a proposal, it could even be a party. The Four of Wands is also about having a stable foundation. So you might actually be inspired by a relationship around you at the moment, inspired by some sort of celebration or gathering. Or it could be that you're inspired by the fact that you have got that solid foundation. And because you have that solid foundation, you can now celebrate and, start this again. Like you don't get to Three Queens without that hard work, as I said before. But it might be that this week you're like, yeah, I really do have, I've got all of these things, all of these elements that I can call on. I've got a solid foundation. So now I want to start something new. I want to start something that, really fulfills that passion for me. I hope that makes sense. The Death card here is sitting in the position of how I can best support myself. And Libra, I'm not, some people worry about the Death card. I actually quite embrace the Death card, because it's the death of a way of being. It's the death of something that no longer serves you. It's the birth and beginning of something new. And I particularly love this death card because to me, the diamond here, that's us after the death card. Okay, so the diamond is produced by being this, I guess, this peaty, mush over hundreds of thousands, millions of years, however long it takes, I'm not sure. But all of that pressure, all of that darkness eventually produces this diamond. So without the darkness, we can't have the light. Okay, so without that pressure that is ongoing, without that time, we can't have that diamond. The other analogy that came to me in terms of this death card is I was talking to one of the readings and it was about, I could see myself deadheading roses. So I like to think of that death card as that. So we take the dead roses off the rose bush and that creates this new life in the rose bush. So I really like that as an analogy. And there is the butterfly on this card as well. So if you know your symbolism, the butterfly is about, that taking the caterpillar being in the cocoon, coming out transformed, flying. It's now open to this new beautiful world, beautiful energy. So the death card there, in how to best support yourself in terms of that position, I think it's about recognizing again the hard work that you've been through to get to this place of the three queens, and acknowledging that the death of things that may be in your life, that they're actually a positive, good thing, because it allows for that brand new growth, those new ideas to come in. Right, the Queen of Swords is sitting in the position of your relationships this week, Libra. So I think, we've already talked about the three queens, but I think in particular this Queen of Swords in this position is talking about, in terms of your relationships, you are going to be, people may be coming to you this week as somebody who is wise, somebody who is intelligent, is witty, that they know their truth. So people might be coming to you for those qualities this week, okay? But in terms of your relationships, it may also be that there might be a space in your relationships where you are required this week to speak your truth on a matter. So you might be required to be very clear in terms of how you feel about something. The only thing I would say about this is be mindful, because the Queen of Swords, that sword is very sharp. So she can sometimes have a very sharp tongue. So I would maybe, if that's the case, if you've got something that you want to vocalize in terms of a relationship, maybe try and temper that sharpness of the tongue with that very sharp truth of the Queen of Swords. Maybe try and temper that with try and come in from a heart space, this Queen of Cups, or come in from that kind of loving, nurturing, mothering space with that Queen of Pentacles as well. So it might be, they work together really well to bring that balance, that overall balance of aspects to a personality. The final card here in the outside of the box is the Three of Wands, and this is in the position of your career. So it might be that you're actually looking for some sort of expansion in your career. So the Three of Wands is often about waiting for your ships to come in. You've done the hard work and you're kind of waiting for the next thing. The only thing there is, don't wait too long, okay? There's an invitation. Sometimes the Three of Wands, you're waiting for that's air quotes, waiting for your ships to come in. And, it's good to have that patience, okay? But we can't wait forever. So at some point, you're going to have to jump in with this Page of Wands and start to pursue those new ideas, okay? But in terms of career, it might be that you're looking for this expansion. You might actually be, there may even be a move. So there may be a move across waters here. So you might be moving location in terms of jobs or career. But whatever it is, you're expanding. You're stepping into a new sunrise. There is a sunrise on that card. So you're stepping into that new sunrise and potentially in terms of career. All right, Libra, I think that's it. Look, as I said, the strongest cards there are those 3 queens and this seeing clearly card, this seeing things for how they are. That's how I want to interpret that with that Queen of Swords and this Magician card. Okay, so remembering that you are the master manifestor, you can create whatever it is that you desire in your world. So you've got all of the resources. You are the magic. You're the magic behind whatever it is you're creating. But you do have to maintain that pure intent. You have to have the right focus to build the best cake that you can. All right, my darlings, we will see you next week. I hope you have a good week. All right, bye, my friends.